Because I've just
We
kind of
could
come
talk
on.
about how the Mets beat the Cardinals today
Did
in a
they?
game that totally does not matter, but it does to me because it's the Mets and Solis's team is the Cardinals.
We could talk about
I
March
haven't looked
5th,
at.
2026 for the Seattle Mariners, which was a day in
We
history.
Oh, we lost
could. I
3 to
don't know.
2. And we
I
also gave up
mean,
all 3 runs in 6th, 7th, and 8th inning. Come on, relievers. What
I'm
are your
pretty sure. Yeah, I am also pretty sure that actually, let me go back and look. But I'm
Can't be
pretty sure
upset
that
with an
the
8-8
Mets.
game,
I'm pretty sure they scored in some very weird ways too. Like I think one was just on a force. Actually, just scored on a force out.
I see 2 errors on the Cardinals too, so that's never good. That probably led to runs.
Yep. So yeah, the Mets tied the game on a fielder's choice on a throwing error, and then they took the lead in the 8th on looks like just a regular single. Very weird that the player who scored, or there was one of the players who was on base during that, was named John Bay, and as a Mets fan, that brought me back to some very unfortunate times when we had Jason Bay. Yeah, I mean, even me mentioning him is kind of traumatic. But we could sit here all day and go back and forth about really stupid things the Wilpon era Mets did.
Yeah, I believe that means in the spring training series of all games played, Mets are up 2-1. Cardinals won 6-0 and have lost 14-3 and have lost 3-2 to the Mets during the spring training. Damn it! Ugh! Can't even win in the spring training. I just wanted to win spring training.
They're
man.
just getting you prepped. They're just getting you prepped for the season.
The spring training
I will
rivalry
say-
is going in the favor of the Mets here, I see.
It is killer to me how the baseball gods are gorgeous in the worst ways. Not other than 2 out of the 14, well, no, I guess 4 of the 14 games played have been close within a run or two. It's feast or famine with the Cardinals, which has been something that has been a trending thing for years now, where it's oh, we scored 10 runs and we beat the other team 10-1, 10-2. And then we turn around the next game and literally lose 6-1 the next game. So it's literally it was a 14-3 loss to the Mets, then 10-2 win against the Marlins, then 6-1 win or loss against the Pirates, a 3-2 win against the Marlins.
Okay, but the Marlins don't count. The Marlins are just basically the Marlins are bad. The Marlins are very bad.
Mets and Marlins start with an M, so 3-2 Marlins, and then 3-2 Pirates or Cardinals over Pirates, and then 10-2 Cardinals. Why is it always feast or famine? Why is it always you're getting your asses completely handed to each other, to us, or we're handing belt to ass? Why can't there just be steady wins? Why is it always
That's just
streaky?
baseball, and I think it's also just spring training. Spring training is a lot. Yeah, anything can really happen in spring training. I think there's a lot less close games than there are.
Well, you do say that, but the trend of just regular season, it feels like the Cardinals do that a lot. My biggest thing I will say is another bad trend the Cardinals, I swear, at least it felt like it. The fucking losing in the later innings, giving up 7th, 8th, 9th inning runs has been something that I feel like has plagued the Cardinals more recently than not. And like the last couple of years, and it's man, I would love to find some lockdown relievers and a closer again.
Maybe next year, because it's not gonna happen this year. No offense.
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna get us started here then. Welcome to the 3rd episode of the Untitled Furry Baseball Podcast. My name's Argo Otter. We once again did not work out an order of who's going to introduce themselves.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking. What is our batters lineup? Who goes first, second, and third? What is our lineup?
I'm not on the lineup. I'm pitching.
Oh, I
No,
thought
you're
you were
not. You're
catcher.
Argo.
Wait,
Yeah, Margo.
this is
We're going to Drewski.
Hi, I'm Drewski.
the Yoshi.
Maybe.
Perhaps,
Okay,
allegedly.
cool. See, I just have
It has been said.
my name is just Solis the Wolf. It's kind of in my name.
It's just in your name.
It's just there.
I
I
mean,
don't have a last name.
technically, my full name, my full government name is Drewski the Yosh. So
Not Yoshi though. The eye's gone.
it is to avoid any potential copyright issues with Nintendo.
Ah, smart. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like some people will probably learn that the hard way, but
I wonder if that would ever happen. I don't know.
Hey, speaking of Marlins being terrible and the Mets beating the Cardinals play the Marlins tomorrow, so maybe that's a W I can look forward to.
something's gotta give.
Oh, baseball.
Yeah,
Baseball.
we are.
Spring training and highly in depth or deep into, well, not in deep, but the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, we're recording this on March 7th, 2026, a Saturday compared to our normal Thursday. We moved this recording back, which I think is actually better for us because now we've actually got a couple of World Baseball Classic games that we can talk about. Because if we had recorded on Thursday, there wouldn't be there'd be maybe 2 games that we could talk about. But now we actually got games that we can talk about and standings and how teams are looking. So, yeah.
Off to a rip-roaring start.
USA knows how to slap balls, man. They have crazy.
I'd word it differently, but you know.
You know, they were playing. I mean, Brazil is far from the favorite. I mean, you know, I feel a little bit bad for them, and like Czechia, who, I mean, there are some teams who hadn't even started their tournament yet, and Czechia was already eliminated.
Oh, because Australia won 5-1.
Yep.
Oof. Well, no,
Yep.
wait, they lost back to back, didn't they? Korea beat them 11-4, and then they lost 5-1 yesterday.
But that was kind of expected for Czechia, unfortunately.
I mean, yeah, you got to round out the tournament, and any country with enough warm bodies to fill up a baseball team is going to be there. You know, they can't just have it be like, oh, U.S., Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Japan.
Oh, I see. I'm going through the list of games here. Taiwan lost to Australia and then lost to Japan, but then beat Czechia today. So I'm assuming that was the knockout punch, is Czechia losing 3. Taiwan's on the fringe, I assume, by already losing 2.
Czechia is 0-3, yeah. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, Nicaragua is also on the ropes now too. They lost today, actually the first ever walk-off home run
that was
in the
crazy.
history of the WBC, hit by Ozzy Albies. You know, that's just crazy exciting stuff, man. That's what the tournament's all about.
Look that up. You have not seen it. Oh, buddy. Oh, baby. We love a bottom of the 9th.
2 outs, yeah.
2 outs. 3-1 game turns into a 4-3 victory.
That also, if Nicaragua had held on, that would have been their first win in WBC history.
Really? They haven't won before?
No, they lost. Well,
no,
I'm looking here. They lost to
did
the Dominican Republic 12-3 back on March 6th.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
goodness.
they got off to a rough start. I mean, it would have been really cool, to win your first ever, but just not in the cards this time.
Yeah,
I know. Sorry.
I have hopes that they can beat Israel though. I hope they can beat Israel at least and get a win this tournament.
I think we're all rooting for that.
I think we are all rooting for Israel to go 0-4.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, which I guess that's tonight, the Saturday night. Israel versus Venezuela, actually.
Oh, Venezuela's gonna kill them.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
And then also tonight is Saturday night is Great Britain versus USA.
Tarek Skubal getting the start.
So we're looking
Tariq
at that.
Skubal and USA going up against a team in Great Britain whose really only major league
Oh, you
Oh,
cut out.
you cut out.
talent
What's
is Jazz Chisholm.
You're gonna have to
Jazz
repeat
Chisholm.
that.
So they are
No,
primed
it's
for
okay.
a
Pause.
beatdown.
No,
Okay.
we're all good. Yeah, Jazz
Would
Chisholm is the main star of that team.
Oh, they do still have Harry Ford. I forgot he was still
Harry
there.
Ford,
But
Mariners legend.
yeah, overall, not an ideal lineup to go against USA and the best pitcher on the planet in Tariq Skubal. So yeah, kind of preparing for that one to be a nice another beatdown for the USA.
I mean, I'm still impressed by all of the games played so far, even with the exhibition games with the United States. They have not.
Yeah.
Has it been under double digits ever? It's been a lot of high scoring games
I
for
mean,
the
I
United States
really
so
want to
far.
know who allowed the USA to be scheduled against the Rockies.
That's some like hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby bullshit. That's crazy.
I mean,
Yeah, but you still got to put it to them. I mean, it's looking good offensively for Team USA for sure.
yeah, no, it. I think they have a pretty legit path to get back to the final this year. I'm excited to see what happens. You
Some
know, I am a little bit. It is a little bit unfortunate to see what Tariq Skubal is going to end up doing. You know, his plan is to just pitch a few innings against Great Britain and then return to the Tigers. You know, peak
I
doing none of
know
the work on the group project but getting all the credit.
Exactly.
go go in there so you can get your name on a medal, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, I was looking at this because I worked 8 hours of overtime today. So while I was working, I had some of the games recaps up on my I have a little laptop, my personal laptop to the side. Because my work doesn't require me to necessarily be in phone calls or meetings ever. And I watched some of them, and I will say, surprising to me, Michael Waka is on Team USA. I didn't think he was really around anymore because he started off with kind of looking like he was going to be an ace for the Cardinals, and he pitched well for us for a little while there, but he always had some issues, and then it kind of got worse, and he found his way out of the Cardinals organization. And I
Excuse
know
me,
he's
sir.
kind of bounced around a bit, but
He's
it
a former Met
sounds
as well.
it sounds like, I mean, the way they were talking about him now, he did give up, I think, 2 or 3 of the runs today. But uh for the most part was pretty dominating. I was watching him. He was throwing that changeup and that curveball real well. So it's kind of like one of those things, seeing like a guy you used to like. I always liked him. He's always a chill dude. Going out there and doing some work for us is cool. A little bit of shock. And honestly, I think it was like through the first, half of the game, it was relatively close between the United States and Brazil. I mean, it was like, like 6-5, something like that. It felt like it was gonna be a game, and then it very quickly wasn't. The United States just piled on and made it a 15-5 game.
Yeah,
Um,
I kind of get the feel. I kind of get the same vibes in the World Baseball Classic as I do for like March Madness, where you could get this
mm,
like small country or like smaller baseball country that can just somehow keep up with like the top dogs in some cases.
mhm.
Like I call back to the last World Baseball Classic where Czechia was playing Japan, and whoever the pitcher was for Czechia struck out Shohei Ohtani, which I thought was really funny, but also shows that like pretty much any of these teams can do pretty well, even if
Well,
they're small.
I was gonna say you may not like the Dodgers, but I don't. Now, personally, you also can dislike Shohei from some of the controversies he's been a
Yeah.
part of. That's true. But if you
Free
talk about pure
eBay. Free
baseball,
eBay.
but just a pure baseball player, I mean, he's out there killing it for Japan. I mean, I did watch. That was one of the fun ones I did want to talk about real quick. Was the recap today? Japan versus Korea, an 8-6 uh slugfest against each other, and it never felt like it was out of reach for Korea. even in the 9th inning with how everything was going, it felt like Korea could possibly tie it up and push extras. It looked good. It was a fun, like, I just watched the recap and that looked fun, you know? So, but still Japan said, "Nah, we're good. We'll take that 8-6 W." 13-0 against
Yeah, I mean,
Taiwan.
Korea is a country that does, I mean, KBO is obviously huge. I know a lot of
Mhm.
us, that was kind of the only baseball we had for a couple months back in COVID. And, I think as a baseball country, they are a bit underrated. But yeah, they'll be able to hang with, some of the best teams in the tournament. Um,
Nice. Fun.
they'll be one to watch.
It's fun. We got a lot of baseball left all the way through next week. It's going to be great to see. Obviously, keeping an eye on spring training, but how are those Mariners doing?
Uh,
To be
do we
fair,
really have to talk about how the
Cal
Mariners are
Cal
doing?
Raleigh is on Team USA,
Oh,
so
they
that
have lots
does
of
hurt
players.
them.
They have lots of players out for World Baseball Classic. To be fair, they've got Julio Rodriguez on Dominican Republic. They got Cal on Team USA. Gabe Spire on Team USA. A whole bunch of players that are out for this. But do not ask a Mariners fan what happened on March 5th, 2026. If you'd like to give a quick look into the score on that, Solis, because I know Drewski saw the score on that one, but if you want to give a look at the Mariners Padres score from that game.
What?
Yeah.
What?
For those listening, the Mariners lost 27-6 to the Padres. Off of a
Football ass
12
score.
Yeah.
12 runs in the second alone?
Yeah, 12 runs in the second.
I mean,
Argo,
I think
statistically, I think we could have accidentally gotten pop-ups and groundouts enough to get out of that inning. Like,
I think
I'd
they would have
probably
been
throw
thrown off
60.
enough by my 40-mile-an-hour fastball to at least get it out.
I think I could get it up to 60, maybe 65. And I'm telling you right now, I feel like just the unconventional, like you said, like us not being pitchers would still do enough to get you out at least not 12 runs. Jesus.
Yeah, kind of a
Who
rough
was
one.
on the who got killed for that?
Let me pull it up actually, because I only have the Google one right now.
Mariners
Padres.
Luis Castillo pitched 1 point. Luis Castillo 1.1, giving up 6 hits, 5 earned runs on a walk with only 2 strikeouts. Tyler Cleveland.
That does not give me
Cleveland
confidence.
Well, I will say this: if you're gonna fuck up, do it in spring training. Don't do it when it's regular season.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I also would like to bring attention to the Mariners graphic after this game. The caption was just "Spring happens," and the picture was the score, which Mariners 6, San Diego 6+. Did not show the actual score, just 6+.
I saw that.
God.
That was a pretty funny one. Credit to the Mariners social media guy. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Well, Patrick Wisdom went 2 for 3. You got to give him some love on that at least. No, not a whole lot else from anybody else on the team. Unfortunately,
that was the 27 runs. Was the most scored by a team in Cactus League since MLB started tracking games 20 years ago.
Oof.
Actually, the Cardinals scored 29 in a Grapefruit League game in 2020. So
I was wondering
it
about
is
this.
really unfortunate that
I was wondering is at what point in a spring training game do you just call it? Because you're not required to complete the game.
I don't think there's a mercy rule or anything. I mean,
You can still
I think if the Mariners just were I think a part of it is just like you can just have a random guy pitch, some guy who's may or may not make the roster at the beginning of the season, who you want to maybe get a better look at. It, like, even though your team is down by 20 runs, it's still an ultimately low leverage situation for a reliever to put into, because I mean, it's like there's no pressure. It's not like 1 run lead. You pressure's on you to keep your team in front. No, I mean, when you're losing by 20 anyway, it really doesn't matter. So you can kind of put guys into a bit of a looser situation, see
Yeah.
what they have.
I actually
Really
like
keep them
that. Yeah,
cool.
I would say that's the only
No
benefit.
pressure
like
for them.
it's actually better in some ways because if it's a more tighter game, you're probably playing those players, especially in relief, those AAA guys, those AA guys that might be looking, like you said, hit the roster sometime this year, or could at least make it by the time of September call up. So you kind of get a look at them at spring training at least. But in a 20+ deficit game, you could start pitching whoever the fuck you want. You're not pitching position players. You're gonna go give it to the single A guys or people that got invites weren't really expected to see a whole lot of innings. Go ahead and toss them out there. What's to lose?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like to point attention to this headline that I see for this. Mariners give up 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals. Which, yeah.
4 touchdowns and a missed extra point.
Yeah. Which I did check this out. This is not scoregami. This would not be football
Oh
scoregami.
man.
Oh, it's not football scoregami.
Yeah,
I was gonna
actually,
say
let me
baseball
double-check.
scoregami, maybe. Probably.
Baseball scoregami, yeah, there
Most
is a
likely.
website for baseball scoregami that I checked out, but it doesn't go past 25-25. I guess they
Oh,
just
that
don't
makes
show it.
sense. Because it I wonder if there's been any regular season games to do it.
There is, okay, hold on. I'm gonna pull this up actually because this is something I kind of want to talk about.
Love this
Uh,
ADHD tangent. Let's go.
There is a game before the 1900s. Let me see. In 1871, there was a game between the Philadelphia Athletics and the Troy Haymakers. That
God.
was 49-33.
You know, I can't blame him though.
That's
I'm
it,
pretty
that's
sure,
a high football score.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I'm pretty sure in those days all they had was their legs, and I'm pretty sure the ball they threw may have been or may have not been a rock.
Yeah.
It's 1871. They didn't have much shit for a ball,
Yeah,
gloves,
I'm
or
just looking
anything.
here. I'll have to do some research onto this, but something really crazy to me is the fact that this whole game, despite the score being 49-33, there were only 5 home runs.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There were only 5
I don't
home
even know
runs
if
in this game.
I don't even know if walks were around back then.
Yeah, I
I'm
believe
not sure
they
what
were.
the old fucking rules were because there's been a lot of big changes, especially off of the early baseball games. I also know, you were swinging at it. The bats back then were more like sticks, and the gloves they had were also not much bigger than your actual hand. They
In
were.
1871, did they even have gloves?
I'm not sure. I think
There's so many
I'll look.
questions with this game. I should also mention that
I would
there
love to
was
research this and get back to you on this.
yeah, I should also mention that there was only 1 pitcher per team. There were no
Oh,
relief
God.
pitchers. It was it was just
I want
2
to know what the
pitchers.
time was. I want to know how much time took because a 27-6 game in MLB, that is like that one inning, that 12-run inning took for fucking ever.
What
You
I'm
know?
seeing here is time of game was 3:55. I don't know if it's like 3:55 is when they played
was
it
3
or
days,
3
actually.
hours and 55 minutes.
3 days and 55 hours.
I have no idea. This is a crazy thing that I found just by like doing research into this score because I didn't know if this was a baseball scoregami because there is a table for it. That's where I found this score. And it mentioned a 49-33 game and I had to look into it. So I'm glad I got to mention that because it's crazy.
Amazing.
So yeah, Mariners lost by a lot in spring training.
Supposedly in 1871 was the inaugural season of the National Association of Professional Baseball Players, which slowly saw the transition of makeshift homemade gear to slightly more standardized implements.
So they did have gloves then.
The ball was generally hand stitched with white leather. It featured a hard rubber core wrapped in yarn, roughly 9 to 9.5 inches in circumference.
Wow.
I don't remember.
Old
They say
baseball is wild. Like there are some crazy stories from like 1800s baseball.
You are sorry.
Wh-
Yeah, even early 1900s baseball was nowhere near what it is today.
Just the dead ball era in general.
Yeah, we're gonna need to do a
Gloves.
deep dive on this.
Gloves were not standard. Most
I
players
am
still
very
played with their
down to
bare
do a dead
hands.
ball era episode.
It'd be fun.
That could be like an off-season type episode as well, or like during like All-Star break type thing.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh yeah. Hey, speaking of, is there any other comment down below if there's anything else you want us to take a peek at when it comes to kind of like baseball history and or things that you may not know about that we can go do a little deep dive ourselves and report back to you on? I want to learn more. I've seen stuff through like crazy enough, like silly little shows like Pawn Stars and shit, where you see like an old glove get pawned or something, and they go and do a little history dive on it. So I've seen some of those kinds of things. Seen a couple baseball YouTube videos where they tried to use every era of pitch like baseball.
Yeah.
Like, can you hit a home run off of an 1800s baseball? And a lot of people are like, fuck no.
I mean, the other nuts thing about the dead ball era is just how much it was favored towards pitching. Like, you could scuff the ball, you could mess it up, you could use a spitball. I mean, it was nuts.
Yeah.
And like home runs were just not a thing. But
Right.
in 1912, Owen Chief Wilson set a record of 36 triples. Like that's just never going to be broken.
Well,
I don't even know
right.
if there are. I don't even know if we have maybe like 4 or 5 guys that consistently hit double digits in triples.
Yeah, triple
And someone
I
in
would say
1912
a year.
36.
That's because 36 home runs in a season is good.
36 home run, yeah, you'll take that from your guys. But I mean, 36 triples is just not going to happen.
Not happening. No, I've always thought about that. Especially even with like football, you get those you get these big rule changes throughout the years, and it's like, well, there's going to be certain records that can't be touched because it was a different era. Like there was an era where you know, I don't remember how long was the MLB allowed to use like aluminum bats. Like there's exit velocity off aluminum bats are scary.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Stuff like where there's like either some different, we'll see about the whole torpedo bat thing to see how legal those stay or not. But stuff like that could change how a record's ever gonna like be again. So that's why I've always was like, how do you separate them? How do you make it fair? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I would also like to mention that this 49-33 scoreline would not have been an NFL scoregami.
That's wild.
I
guess
to look
it's
it
not.
up.
I can't say it's that surprising.
It's only happened once. It's only happened once in football. Houston Oilers, San Diego Chargers in 71.
That's the only instance of that score?
Yeah, that's the only instance. And all listeners, you guys are going to find out that I am just a big fan of just very obscure facts, like scoregami and stuff like that. I am a massive fan of just completely obscure facts. And I will go on random tangents on obscure facts about baseball and other sports.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
So, to bring this a little bit back to the World Baseball Classic, I wanted to look ahead a little bit. Unfortunately, by the time this episode premieres on Sunday, the USA game today is obviously over. So you'll need to take a peek back at Saturday's score to see how we did against Great Britain. There is no game for USA tomorrow, but Monday at 8 p.m., you can see USA play Mexico.
That's going to be a game.
That's going to be a game.
Because Mexico
will be popping.
We are recording this at 5:34 on Saturday, 5:34 Eastern time. The U.S. Great Britain game is at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm going to predict right now that the USA is going to beat Great Britain by a final score of 14-2.
14-2.
I think
Yeah.
I think Great Britain's going to get a bit more scoring, and I think 11-6.
I'm saying 12-5. I'm
All
thinking
right.
low
Well,
double digit, and I'm giving Great Britain a little bit of oomph.
I don't know, Argo. Can we trust you to not go back and since you're editing, you're not going to edit yourself saying the correct score, right?
Yeah. You can trust me with that. You have my word.
All right. Well, I mean, we'll know. We will listen to the podcast, so we'll find out.
What other games are tonight? There's some games going on right now, actually, right? Or no.
Roughly?
I believe they've all gone final. Yeah, we have Italy.
Yes.
Dark horse team for me in Italy.
Same here.
They did defeat Brazil 8-0 today.
It's not super surprising.
That game is final. Not super surprising, but it is still. I think people don't suspect Italy to be as good a team as they actually are. As we already touched on, the Netherlands beat Nicaragua 4-3. First ever walk-off home run in the history of the World Baseball Classic. Canada actually beat Colombia 8-2, their first game of the tournament. I don't know. I want to say I'm confident that Colombia. I mean, no, I don't believe Acuña's. Yeah, I mean, Acuña's not playing for. Or actually, no, he's not Colombian, is he? Ronald Acuña.
Well, it's not quite that. It's also, like you said, they're not exactly.
No, he's
strict
Venezuelan.
on
Yeah,
where
they're
you
not.
Can go
they're
to.
not. I mean, there's just not really a ton of talent on. I mean, I think Gio Urshela might be the best player on Colombia. So
you hear Colombia and you think, oh, but
they do have
like
Harold Ramirez as well. They have some talent, but they're definitely not. They're not enough to compete. I mean, Canada has the Naylor brothers. They have Tyler O'Neill. They're a pretty sneaky good team potentially. They also have Abraham Toro, Mariners legend.
Let's go.
So I mean, I don't think they're going to make a ton of noise in the knockout round, but they did win their first game of the tournament. They're 1-0. And last of the finished games, Japan, as we touched on, beat Korea earlier today, 8-6.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward here towards some future matches. So Sunday, I'm looking at what do you guys think about Australia versus Japan?
I think that's going to be a closer game than others think, because Australia they're let me look at the standings again real quick. Australia's 2-0. Then again, they haven't really beaten super big teams. They beat Chinese Taipei and Czechia. I think they can do pretty well in this. I don't think they're definitely not gonna win. Japan's definitely gonna win. But I think it's gonna be closer than we think. I'm thinking like 9-5 for Japan.
Okay, we got another game. Oh yeah, Drewski, you too. Sorry.
I mean, I was gonna just agree with Argo. I think it'll be a little bit closer than people would suspect, but I mean, Japan is stacked, and I mean, as the defending champ and still arguably the most talented team in the tournament, I would say they're probably going to win pretty handily. But I mean, there are some major league talents on Australia. There's the number 1 pick from a couple years ago, Travis Bazzana. So I don't think it's going to be quite what Czechia had to deal with, for example. But I think it'll be a pretty easy win for Japan. I think. Yeah, they'll get there to 3-0 in pool play.
Oh yeah, I don't think Australia's upsetting this, but the baseball gods giveth and taketh. Sometimes you never know.
They do.
I would say you're gonna make some good money if you're betting on Australia and they win, because that's definitely the underdog.
Agreed.
We got another one that I'm just gonna throw out there for fun. Colombia versus Cuba tomorrow.
I don't really have an opinion on this one. If Drewski, you have one.
I think I would give a slight edge to Colombia. not too high on Cuba this year. I mean, a few years ago, they obviously had some more talent. I mean, but right now, Colombia does have a decent chunk of major league talent on the team with guys like Harold Ramirez and Donovan Solano and Gio Urshela. So I think I give them the slight edge.
Well, to put
But
that
we'll
in
see.
perspective, Colombia has not won yet, I don't believe. They've lost to Puerto Rico
They have
and
not. They're
they lost to
0-2,
Canada.
but
And Cuba
again,
beat Panama, so that's three. That's a Cuba's got a win.
I mean, it's
I was just
it's
throwing it out there.
Panama.
I kind
I'm
of
not high on them.
I kind of agree. Well, it's not like I don't have an opinion. It's more so I do think this is kind of a flip of the coin. It could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if either or wins by a couple runs each. It could happen quite easily. I think it's is the pitchers locked in versus the batters, squaring up the balls. So
I'm gonna
we
take
love that.
I'm gonna take just a neutral opinion. I think Colombia is gonna take it 4-3 in extras.
Fair enough.
I want a spicy game.
Columbia 4-3.
I think if there's
extras.
a game tomorrow that can be close, it will be that one.
All right. No, we already talked about USA Mexico on Monday, so let's skip ahead to Tuesday. There's only a few games scheduled on Tuesday so far. There's 4. Canada versus Puerto Rico.
That's
Apparently,
gonna be a
that
close
game is going to be streamed on Tubi. Fun fact.
On Tubi.
Underrated. Tubi is underrated. But yeah, no, I think that'll be a closer one as well. But I think Puerto Rico has a slight edge. I think Puerto Rico takes that one.
You're going Puerto Rico?
I'm going Puerto Rico.
I can't drop on my man Josh Naylor. I think
I'm going Canada. Yeah, I'm thinking Canada by 2 runs.
I'd say the same personally.
5-3. 5-3.
I will match Solis on that one.
Yeah, it's just kind of there's not much. The one scheduled Wednesday, it's Canada, Cuba, Italy, Mexico, and Dominican versus Venezuela. Probably Canada, Mexico, Dominican.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think.
I'm not sure if they're gonna schedule more or if that's just the end of pool play at that point.
I think pool play ends then, I want to say. Yeah, that's going to be the end. I think that's the end of pool play.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not. It looks like. I honestly think Monday's got some good games, especially that Mexico USA game.
Mexico USA is going to be a good game that day. I think a sneaky good game for that day is going to be Brazil Great Britain, because I think they're both on a more even playing field as far as like team skill, and I think that's going to actually be an interesting game.
They're the AAA of WBC.
Pretty much. It's kind of just, I think that's going to be the game to figure out which of those two teams is actually going to... Actually, wait, has Great Britain won? Hold on. I forgot about standings.
I think we find out tonight, actually.
Okay, yeah, they haven't won. I think that might be a game where we will find out which of those teams we will see next season. Because if I remember correctly, in order to get an invite to the next World Baseball Classic, you have to have won at least one game in the previous one. I think that's how the invites work for this. So I think that game is going to be a big, like, which of these two teams is actually going to stay in the World Baseball Classic.
Okay.
Well, I already know. I know Czechia already has to requalify for the next time because they are going to finish 5th in their pool.
Yeah, they're not making.
I don't know enough about World Baseball Classic. How does so if you do fall out like Czechia, how do you requalify? Is it an application and then they just kind of go by all the applicants?
I mean, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's just similar to World Cup. You have qualifying matches in the World Cup. You have qualifying games for World Baseball Classic.
Oh, You know,
Yeah,
I
that
never
sounds
even
about
knew there
right.
was qualifying games. I didn't even know because I just assumed they have their own leagues, but I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
yeah.
Cool.
So speaking of teams in the World Baseball Classic, what are we thinking of our top 5 teams this season? If we have rankings for those, if that's what we want to move on to now.
What's funny is
Yeah.
Pool B, which is crazy, is Italy, Mexico, United States all tied for 1 right now because as of today.
I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, they just started yesterday.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. It's like if you go by record, it's actually not easy to choose this. Because even Australia's tied with Japan in Pool C right now. Which I'll be real, like Japan's definitely gonna take that. So shoot, now I'm looking at these.
All right. I think I have my rankings all set personally.
Go for it.
I can go ahead and start. I think number 5 for me is going to be Korea. I think Korea is going to sneak into that 5th spot. I think they're going to probably qualify for day 2.
The knockout round.
Or yeah, knockout round. Yeah, they're going to qualify for the knockout round. As like slipping by in the 2nd seed in Pool C. I think they're going to beat out Australia and
I think
take
it's
over
gonna be
there.
Japan then Korea.
Japan and Korea out of that pool. It's a rough pool, I'll be real, for Australia. I think Australia is a team that can make it to the next stage, but I think just with their draw with the pool and having to play both Japan and Korea is rough.
Tough divisions, man. Tough divisions. Don't we know it?
So I think Korea is going to be my 5. I think in 4th, I'm going to say Mexico. So far they've looked pretty solid. Not much to really say there. I'm a little bit biased because Randy Rosarena and Andres Munoz both being on Team Mexico. My number 3 is Dominican Republic. They looked, if I remember correctly, looked kind of on fire today or yesterday, whenever they last played. Let me double check all of that.
They played Nicaragua last 12-3.
Yeah, they look pretty dominant. It's Nicaragua, but they still look pretty dominant. I know Julio Rodriguez had a home run. They had and then followed up by a home run by someone else, I think. Yeah.
There's an important saying that when you're expected to beat the pants off of a team, you need to. So it's one of those things where it's Nicaragua, but yeah, it's a 12-3 win. You did exactly what you're expected to do. If it was anything closer than that, that's when you start worrying. You're like, that shouldn't be that close, you know?
Yeah.
So
and then my 2 and 1, I gotta say, is actually just a tie between US and Japan. I don't know if I can pick which team would win that matchup. I think
I really hope that's the final. I think that would be cinema.
That would be absolute
USA
cinema.
Japan again.
That's a repeat, right?
That would be a repeat.
Maybe USA can get their revenge.
That would be great.
So yeah, that's my top 5. I can't pick between USA and Japan. I think they're pretty evenly stacked. Maybe a slight edge to USA based off of just roster strength.
Pretty crazy.
Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. So my top 5 is number 5. Got to go with Italy. I think they are a very, as I've said a few times, I think they're really underrated. They have a lot of good young MLB talent. You know, they have Jack Caglione, Royals top prospect, Dominic Canzone from the Mariners, Vinny Pasquantino, also from the Royals. I mean, they're pretty. It's not huge stars, but guys that could very well be looking at in 2, 3, 4 years as faces of the MLB. So I got to put Italy at 5. Number 4, slightly lower from where I would usually have them, but number 4 is Puerto Rico. I mean, yeah, they're missing Francisco Lindor. They're missing Carlos Correa. a couple superstar level players that would normally be, huge for them in this tournament. But, they still have a decent amount of talent. They have, MJ Melendez, Eddie Rosario, Nolan Arenado, who, maybe he'll bounce back a little bit from his last couple of years. Willie Castro's leading off today. They're not where they usually are, but they're still going to be a force to be reckoned with in the tournament. Number 3, I will put Korea. Like I said earlier, I think Korea as a whole, the baseball culture there is very underrated. They gave Japan a run for their money. They'll be a tough out. So I gotta tip my hat to Korea. I think they'll be a very good team to watch in the tournament. Number 2, it pains me to say this. I do think USA is 2 behind Japan at 1. And
Really?
it is, it's not easy for me to say this, but I don't necessarily think that Japan is going to repeat as champions, but I think Japan by and large is the most talented team in the tournament, even if there may be some names that US baseball viewers are unfamiliar with. I think they are the most talented team in the tournament, but I do think USA this year is better than they were 3 years ago, and I think they can absolutely give Japan a run for their money. And I think that's going to be the final again. I think we're going to have a repeat, but I would not be surprised if the outcome flipped this time and the USA wins the World Baseball Classic.
All right, Solis.
I don't know enough to really make great in-depth talks about this.
That's okay.
I'm throwing Korea out the door. They're losers.
Oh, that's a take.
I'm going Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, 5-4. Could be flip-flopped with Mexico 3, Japan 2, USA wins it out.
All right.
And I'm gonna wholly base it off of, and I think the biggest difference in the Japan versus USA Classic that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. The 2026, the final game. I think they all have hitting. Japan and USA both have hitting, so it's gonna be which pitchers are getting the whiffs. So I think it's whoever's locked in more on pitching is gonna make the biggest difference. And that is going to either end in another close, like 3-2 final, or it's going to end up being lopsided because all it takes is one pitcher, one bad inning, and like a grand slam given up, and you get that lopsided number. And I just see, it's going to be pitchers to me, not hitters, that change this game, I think.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which you love Shohei, but he's not pitching. So
he is not pitching.
So that could be a big difference there. But also, if America's not pitching well and he hits 4 fucking home runs, there's Japan's win. So,
all right. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Just to throw it back to spring training a little bit. I thought we kicked it off pretty early with the episode talking about spring training, but also the other episode about how ABS is being used in spring training, and we got those day one kind of like initial reactions. People were, there were some egregious misses by umpires, so obviously people were quick to jump at the throats of umpires, being like, "See, that shouldn't have been, you missed it by this much. Thank God we have ABS now," which is, it's true. It's nice, especially in clutch moments. Being able to overturn some of these really bad ball or strike calls is very nice, but already, and just through what we have stats wise, it's still only a 51-52 like overall all teams, all games overturned call of the initial call so far. Teams are averaging a little over 2.3 challenges per game, which means they're, again, with the 51-52, you're only getting a little bit of that extra third call, because once you run out of, after you miss 2 challenges, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
It does have a little bit of a breakdown where the Athletics have almost a 70% good call rate on their using their challenges, followed up by the Giants at about a 67, with Reds, Miami, Marlins, and Padres all sitting right around 62%. with the least successful teams being the Dodgers and the Orioles at 22 and 25 respectively.
Jeez.
The Yankees are using the most of all teams per game at about 3.8 challenges per game.
That is very interesting.
That's what we've got so far. So it's not as drastic as those day one, because there was a lot of day one overturns and people are like, holy shit, this is huge. It's averaging out a lot more.
Okay. Pivoting off of that, there was an interview. This person interviewed numerous Mariners players, mostly Mariners pitchers, asking them what they're like. Are you going to be the one tapping your head for challenges? Like, do you see yourself doing that very often? And the complete consensus from the pitchers are like, I'm leaving it to Cal. It's
good.
like they're like, I don't trust myself to know those very slight differences, but they've ultimately decided that Cal is just going to be the one to make the call on the defensive side for challenges, which I think is really smart because Cal knows what he's doing.
Well, all catchers should have a better look at the strike zone, especially because the strike zone adjusts by the height of the player and everything too, than the pitcher. And the pitcher, you're in a motion, you're following through your pitch, and if you're falling away, you're gonna have a little bit of a skewed vision, which is actually some of the more fun drama that has come out of the spring training. Is I think it was the Yankees, actually, wasn't it? The Yankees pitcher decided he wanted to challenge some calls, and very upset his catcher, because it's also kind of showing up your catcher, who should be calling that for you anyways. And he was so fucking wrong too. He was off by like 3 inches or something. It was very clearly a ball. But yeah, we got some fun drama. If you want some more drama in baseball, is pitchers showing up catchers thinking they know better. Don't do that. Let your catcher take care of it. That's why they're the kind of the on-field, coach.
All right, is that all we've got for today?
I think so.
I think so as well.
I can't think of too much. I could bitch about football.
What one final bitch
Crosby
about football?
to the Ravens. Why?
We just
traded DJ Moore to the Bills for picks, and we could have had Montez Sweat and Max Crosby dual threat. Oh, our defense.
Yep.
This is going to be a continuing theme of just like Solis complaining about the Bears. That's going to be a continuous topic.
The Bears had so many great comeback wins this last year, right? But here's the thing. You don't have to come back if you have such a goddamn good defense that they don't let the other team score. So you don't have to worry about it. So that'd have been great. We did sign the Patriots center to replace the kid that just retired at 27, which I'm hoping is just a career move. I'm hoping he's retiring at 27 because I believe I heard his contract was worth millions. So the kid's got millions of dollars in his pocket, and I'm hoping he's looking at his life, looking at the money, and going, CTE's a bitch, and I don't want to deal with it.
I find it very funny now that what is it? Joe Burrow now has to deal with TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, and Max Crosby all in his division. He is going to die.
Somebody said
he hasn't stayed healthy for a full season in like 4 years. Yeah, he's done. You know where you wouldn't have to deal. You know where you wouldn't have to deal with that. The AFC East. Come to the Jets, buddy. We got a good offensive line for you. We have a Breece Hall for you. We have a Garrett Wilson for you. I mean, I'm very biased, but I think the Jets, like if the Jets had even a remotely decent quarterback this year, they would have been a much better team. There are not very many teams that are like, oh, they're a quarterback away from being good. But I do believe, I mean, obviously the bar wasn't set very high. They won 3 games, but I think this would have been like a solid, probably not playoff team, but like 7, 8, 9 win team with an actual quarterback and not Justin Fields.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers could come back.
Oh God, no. I saw a video. Speaking of the,
I will officially end my Jets fandom if they bring back Aaron Rodgers. I'm not kidding. I will find a new team to root for. I'll just give up on football altogether. That would just be like for a franchise that has done so many stupid things that could take the cake as stupidest.
yeah, I saw, speaking of the Jets, I watched a video recently of somebody talking about how unique, about this, something really unique about this Jets team from this last season is that I didn't realize this. Your guys' special teams were like one of the best ever.
Yeah, not just best in the league this year. Like they were one of the best ever.
Like they're
Chris
like
Banjo, our new special teams coach, worked wonders.
yeah, 5th best DVOA in all of NFL history.
Jesus,
which is insane.
I mean, literally, several of our wins were because we had either a kick return touchdown or recovering fumbles on punts. Our last win against the season was against the Falcons, and I was actually at that game and can confirm, they had several good returns. Their first touchdown of the game was set up on a muff by the Falcons where they got the ball at like the 2-yard line and Breece Hall ran it in. But yeah, overall, really great job by Chris Banjo this season. There wasn't a ton of positives to take away, but that's something really cool to see.
Hey, hear me out. Phillip Rivers may be willing to unretire.
Phillip Rivers to the Jets would be crazy.
Yeah, I will give you this. It's a snowball's chance in hell that would ever happen. Even more so than the Vikings getting Joe Burrow. But if Joe Burrow went to the Jets, I would give a little love to the Jets. I wouldn't lie. I'd give a little love to the Jets.
It's not gonna happen, but
it's not gonna happen. Just like it was like, I don't know why I saw some random TikTok of some sportscast being like, well, there's like a minuscule chance that Joe Burrow could go to the Vikings. It's like he's never leaving the Bengals, guys. You know that, right?
He's dying on the Bengals.
He's been dying since him being there, but I mean, he's gonna make his money there and then just retire as one of their best quarterbacks.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna call it here because we are rambling.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna call it here. I'm tired.
Yeah, we are all tired. All right,
6:30 this morning. Worked 8 hours OT, baby.
Fun. All right. Thank you all for watching the Untitled Furry Baseball Podcast. Give us a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Give us a comment of what you thought of the episode. Anything you want to say? Any critiques you have for us, or anything at all? Any recommendations? We will hear it out.
What are your 5 teams?
Yeah, give us your 5 teams in the WBC. What are your predictions?
Or at the very least, tell us who's the 2 teams in the Classic and who's going to win it all.
Yeah.
I want to hear it. I want to see it.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.